Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 critical mistakes that salespeople make that cause them to lose sales. Hello, my name is Dwayne Huff, and if you're new to my channel, I'm a 14-year sales professional who then struck out on his own to start his own business doing sales training and performance coaching. And for the past 15 years, I've been helping business leaders, sales professionals, and entrepreneurs make more sales consistently, predictably, and profitably. In this video, I want to unpack the 7 critical mistakes that salespeople make so that you don't make them, and share with you how you can do it right so that you can close more sales consistently. Let's jump in. By the way, if you find value in this video and you feel like you could use my help training your sales professional or getting better at selling yourself, run over to sellingwithinfluence.com and see where we might be able to help you. But let's jump in. 7 critical mistakes salespeople make that cause them to lose sales. Number 1, they need to make a sale, or they need to make the sale. Now, I always tell people you need to make a sale, but you don't need to make this sell. But I love what my mentor Myron Golden says. He said the toughest sale or the hardest sale you'll ever make is the one that you need to make. Why? Because it puts off this vibe and this sense of neediness. And if you're not careful, you might come across as needy. So what happens is you become very attached to the outcome, and you have this agenda to sell something. You have to let go of that. You have to detach from the outcome. You have to show up as though you don't need it, even if you do. And listen, I've been there so many times, and I've had to do 2 things. Number 1, put on a poker face. And number 2, just create this really iron steel spine that just gave me the courage and the confidence that I could play and pretend as though I didn't need the sale. So I kind of had to psych myself out and convince myself that I didn't need this, even when I did, and it did play out in my favor. Now, there's a much better way to keep yourself out of being needy or to need the sale, and I'll get to that a little bit later, so stay tuned. But number 2, they think it's all about their product, service, solution, company, or even value proposition. And here's the thing, your prospective buyer, I hate the word prospect, your prospective buyer, your potential buyer, they don't care about how long your company's been in business. They don't care about how awesome you think you are or how unique you think you are. And it's definitely not about your product or your service or solution. It's about their outcomes. It's about their results. It's about what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to get to, or what they're trying to get away from. And until you understand that, please realize that people do not buy when they understand you. They buy when they feel understood. Number 3, they pitch, present, or demo too soon, too aggressively, or too enthusiastically. And that alone can create sales resistance and a barrier and a wall. So I know that you're an expert and an authority on your product, your service, and solution. And it's so tempting that as you're having conversations with your prospect and they bring up a challenge they're having or something they're facing or something that's going wrong, and you know the answer, the solution to that problem, to that question, to what they bring up, but you gotta hold that back. There's a time for it, but you don't want to jump in and pitch, present, or demo too soon because they shut down, because then it becomes about your products, your services, your features, your benefits, and it overwhelms them, it confuses them, and they feel sold to. And the last time I checked, nobody likes to be sold to, but everybody likes to buy stuff. Let's empower the buying process. And number 4, they don't understand what the prospect values. And again, I said people do not buy when they understand you. They buy when they feel understood. But here's the thing. Your prospect or your potential buyer already values something about your product, your service, or your solution, but it's attached to the outcome or result they're looking for. And if you'll spend time really listening and asking questions and understanding, they will reveal what I call the cheat codes. They will tell you what they already value about the solution, and all you have to do is basically take the cheat codes and map them to what your product, service, or solution can do. But here's the thing. Have you ever tried to do something for somebody, create something for something, give something to somebody in the sales process only to have them say, no, thank you, don't want it, don't need it, we're going somewhere else? Why did that happen? It's because you tried to give them something that you believed was good for them or would benefit them or that they should want, but they didn't perceive it as valuable because it didn't align with what they already value. But here's a beautiful thing. Whenever you spend time listening, they'll tell you where they spend their time, where they spend their money, what they hate, what they like, what they want, what they need, what they expect. And somewhere in there, they might even come out and blatantly tell you exactly what they value about the product or service or solution or the outcome they're looking for. And once you have that, you can map it specifically. Here's why that's important. Because I'm pretty sure you could list the features, the advantages, the uniqueness, the value of your product, services, and solutions. But here's the thing. If you listed them all out, and feel free to pause this and list them all out, and then ask yourself this. If your competitor got to your potential buyer before you did, what would they say about their product, service, or solution? Probably something very similar. And here's the thing. Whenever we list out all of the things that we can potentially do and how we do it, it becomes overwhelming and confusing to the buyer. And it sounds like noise. And it makes us sound like a commodity, like everybody else. So how do you stand out? How do you truly be unique? Well, you understand what the prospect already values, and you simply point to only the things that can help them get what they perceive they want, need, and expect, or what they value. When you do that, and you leave out all the other stuff that you know your product or service or solution can offer, and you keep it just to the things that point to what they value, it makes you stand out, it makes you look different, it makes you look unique, and the potential buyer trusts that you are the one who can get them the result the best. And then number 5, they don't take the time to lead the prospect, not through discovery, but through self-discovery. Here's what I mean by that. It is not the seller's job to convince, to persuade, to sell the prospect or the prospective buyer on buying. It really is about getting them to self-discover, and you facilitate that conversation in your discovery. But to get them to self-discover, to flip that switch in their head that, wait a minute, here's where I am, here's where I want to be, here's what's standing in the way, and I need a solution to bridge that gap, get rid of that barrier so that I can achieve my goal or get away from this pain. Because you can, as a seller, try to persuade and to convince them that they need to change or that there's a better way, but it's so much more convincing and so much more compelling when they have that aha moment, they see the light, and they're like, I want to do this. That's the difference between being sold and deciding they want to buy. So if you will facilitate and lead the prospect through self-discovery, they'll have that light bulb moment, they'll have that aha moment, and here's the thing, they'll be closing you. Number 5, salespeople wing it. I see it every day. I've worked with tens of thousands of sales professionals, both live and virtually. And what I have learned is that many of them, sadly, don't have a sales process, don't have a framework for how they approach their conversations, for how they lead the potential buyer through the buying process and through their sales process. And they're just winging it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And they can't get consistency. 1 month they're up, 1 month they're down. The next month they're struggling, they're needy for a sale, and it's because there's no consistency. They show up, they fly by the seat of their pants, they wing it, and that's just not a way to achieve a consistent, ongoing, sustainable sales result. So if you don't already have one as a sales professional, please, please, please put one in place. And if you need help with that, I'm glad to help. Reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. But number 7, they don't pre-call and they don't post-call plan. What do I mean by that? When I was in pharmaceutical sales, the very first one that I was in, they taught me a process of pre-call planning, setting a goal for the call, and then after the call, sitting down and self-evaluating what went well, what didn't work out. And I didn't understand at the time, but the reason they did that was because whenever you collect the value of what worked, you can carry it forward. And whenever you face what didn't work, you can make the adjustments so that you grow stronger faster and you can carry that wisdom into your next call. And in the pre-call plan, what you're trying to do and trying to understand is what you need to prepare to have a better chance at having the conversation you need to have so you can reach the goal and outcome of that particular call. But let's be honest. Let's be real here. It's like Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. But at least if you go into the call with a plan, with a goal, with an outcome that you're trying to achieve, you're focused, you're centered, you're not winging it. And then whenever you get out of that call, if it doesn't go the way you want, take notes on it, self-evaluate. But if it does, carry the value and the benefit of that, of what you learned or what you did or what you said or what you asked, into every subsequent call. It'll make you stronger and more confident in the conversations you're having. And I have a bonus for you. One of the critical mistakes salespeople make that cause them to lose sales is that they have a skinny or a dry pipeline. So I can't say this enough. Always be filling your pipeline. Always be prospecting. Always be starting conversations. Always be reaching out however you see best to do that, but never stop doing it, because I can tell you this from my own personal experience in sales and in owning a business. If you do not constantly fill your pipeline, you're going to continue to experience feast and famine. You won't achieve any consistency. You'll be frustrated. You'll be stressed out. And really, if you have a consistent and robust pipeline and you do all the things that we've shared in this video, ultimately, you can write your own ticket in sales. You can achieve stress-free abundance, and you can blow out your sales goals month after month. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found value from it. Please consider subscribing. Share this with a sales leader, a business professional, a sales professional, or an entrepreneur, maybe even a business owner that you know that could benefit from closing more sales consistently, predictably, and profitably. Let's talk soon.